It's also great because we know no one listens to the show during the holidays, so we can just be totally stupid.
I know.
Shut up. all right, let's get.
You're teasing me.
Get off our chest some assholes from the year and highlight some good folk.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheesman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. We're making a list and checking it twice. Who's ready for some naughty and nice? Hi, kids. This is the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Shittersful Cheesman.
This is Chad. Give me some of that mulled wine. So wash.
And on this week's episode, a little naughty, a little nice, and Santa's little helper makes a guest appearance. Let's do this.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
So Julie would not be happy right now.
Why's that?
Because we are, take a look. Because we're matching. And whenever yes. And whatever.
He will never match me.
Just so that you know, listener, this was not planned. This was not planned.
Yeah.
I don't even match with my wife. She wants to wear like matching tracksuit suits and shit like that. Not doing it. So for all the listeners out there who are not watching on YouTube, Joel and I are wearing our factory fix Merry Fixmas little ugly sweaters, which are not sweaters. Tell them about these sexy factory fix sweaters that aren't ugly.
Yeah, I mean, a sweater, as I assume all of our listeners have worn a sweater at some point in their life. The wool, even cotton, whatever the material is, tends to be kind of itchy. It doesn't really stretch or move with you very well. These look like sweaters, but I don't even know the material. It's like a rayon, stretchy athleisure. I could go jogging in this if I ever jogged. I would do something. If someone was chasing me, this would be the sweater I would want to wear.
If Taco Bell was at the front door, you would jog to the front door.
Yes, if the ice cream truck turned into the Taco Bell truck and drove down the street, I might get my track shoes on. Otherwise, not so much.
So what's going on? What's going on this holiday season at the Cheesman household?
Yeah, we've got, this is, listeners know my oldest is 18.
Oh, yeah. Cole.
So this will be the last, he has to attend Christmas. Divorced. So we don't get the big kids, my daughter and son, till later in the morning, which leaves my 7-year-old to grit his teeth and open one or two presents and wait for his brother and sister. So that'll be challenging. My dad, who lives nearby, as a lot of you know, will come and hang out with us. We'll watch basketball and eat really good stuff. I did talk my wife into making a beef Wellington, which is probably my favorite thing that she makes.
That is nice.
So doing that. And then this weekend, I don't think you know this, the wife and the young guy, we're going to take a little weekend trip to New York.
Oh,
we got some points on Delta. We got some points on the hotels.
Yeah.
We're going to take a really cheap. I haven't been to New York in 5 years. It's one of my favorite cities. So looking forward to that. The little kid gets to see the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, all that good stuff. And we're going to go see Elf on Broadway. or off Broadway. Off or on Broadway. I don't know the difference. I don't really know.
Go to Rockefeller.
Musicals.
Got to see the tree.
Yeah, got to see the tree and all that good stuff. And
so
then a couple days after Christmas, we're all driving down. Not my dad, but all the kids and us. We're going to Orlando to hang out in an Airbnb with the Canadians, her family, and her parents. So that, pray for me on that one. Pray for me.
Yeah, Orlando.
Pray for me on that one. A lot of kids and adults and a lot of alcohol. It could get ugly. It could get ugly. How about you in Portugal?
Well, we actually have family and friends that are coming here to the Algarve for Christmas. So plenty of paddle, Christmas Eve dinners planned, Christmas brunch, Christmas dinner, Christmas hikes. So a lot of kayaking, just stuff, right? And obviously a lot of drinking, right? So then we're going to be hopping in the van. That's for Christmas. We're going to spend Christmas here. Then we're going to be hopping in the van and taking everybody to Marbella on the southern coast of Spain for New Year's. We've never been there. We're really excited to go there. We just went to Cadiz about a month or so ago, and that was amazing. So we're really looking forward to that. And I mean, just plenty of food, drinking, activities. Love having family and friends here to share a little slice of the Sowash paradise.
Did you say Christmas hiking?
You done messed up, Aaron.
You got to see. It's a beautiful scene. Beautiful scene.
What is that about?
It's a gift to all your senses.
And are we at peak Eurochad? Kind of like from here on out, it's the does the clock start ticking to your time back in the U.S.?
See, I don't know because never been here before. We now have residency, so we can come and go as we please. Before I had to stay out, right, for a certain amount of time. So I can come and go as we please. I guess the listeners will have to kind of like chime in and let me know if American Chad, U.S. Chad comes back.
Well, let me lobby the listeners right now to say keep Chad in Portugal. We like Euro Chad. Euro Chad is cool, laid back. He's all good. He's all good. I'll love the listeners for that one.
I don't have U.S. news to watch over here, which is great. It's easier to get away from. Let's just say that.
And I can lobby a lot of the listeners because I'm sending free shit to the listeners on a regular basis.
Yes,
Chad. No shout outs this week because it's naughty or nice. Chad, let's tell the listeners if you haven't signed up what they're missing with free stuff from Chad and Cheese.
Really simple, kids. If you don't go to chadcheese.com/free, you can't win. This is how you register. T-shirts by Aaron App. They're not those scratchy ones. They're the nice, soft, silky ones that feel like a hug from Chad and Cheese. Bourbon barrel aged syrup from Kiora. We're not doing shout outs this week, so we got to double down on the Kiora.
That's right. They're from Canada, Chad. I don't know if you mentioned that or not.
Hence the syrup.
Hence the maple syrup. Yeah.
Beer by AspenTech Labs, craft beer sent to your doorstep. Craft AspenTech Labs. 2 bottles of whiskey from our friends at Tex Kernel, powered by now Bullhorn. And if it's your birthday, you get a little rum, possibly from Plum. But you got to go to chadcheese.com/free to register.
I know
you don't
I
play,
can.
you can't win.
I can feel it all the way down in my plum.
Chad, we've been told that we have a face for podcasting.
Yeah, speak for yourself, man. One thing that I do know, and I just got this from the analytics department over at YouTube and Sergey, our video guy, 80% of the people who actually watch our videos are loyal watchers. They're back, right? They don't hit the subscribe button. So, hey kids, hit the subscribe button. Tell them why, Joel.
Let's be honest. They're not. There's some degenerates listening to the show on a regular basis. But yes, I think if you're not tuned into us on YouTube, you're missing some exclusives that you can't get on the show. You're getting outfits that I don't normally wear on the show, or does Chad. Euro Chad, you can't really appreciate Euro Chad unless you see Chad. The voice doesn't really come out. You get to see me in glamorous locations. Like right now, I'm in Canada visiting the in-laws. If you couldn't tell, I'm in a Canadian state of mind. So you're missing out on a lot if you're not watching us on YouTube and just listening to us on your favorite podcast platform of choice. That's right, Chad. Some listeners are celebrating another year around the sun. I'm just going to finish out the month for all the birthdays in December. We got Holland McHugh, Jack Mahoney, Monica Evgy, Nick Bradford, Allison Paget, Michael Smith, Mike Politich, Fazla Imtiaz, Tina Davis, Angela Aguilar, Jeffrey Tainton, Nick Hutchinson, Kim Gray, Max Armbruster, Alex Micklin, Lex Kramer, Phil Larkins, Ali Raza, Christina Lowry, Craig Rhodes. He's on the 25th. That sucks.
Wow.
Daniel Gailey, Jonathan Martinez, Kelly Hervnick, Dom Rafidi, Carrie Corcoran, Dan Lockhart, Molly Mulvey, Curtis Pixel, Nikki McKee, Gerard Mulder. You mentioned Text Colonel.
There he is.
And last but definitely not least, my father celebrates 85 years on planet Earth.
The man, Cheesman.
This week, actually. So happy birthday.
Awesome.
And quick shout out to all the people posting the pics of T-shirts.
Yes.
Asking for liquor. Like we love the shares on LinkedIn. So keep
I thought you were
going to
say posting T-shirts or posting pics of tits. I was going to say, I didn't see those. So can you forward those to me?
You're teasing me.
Which brings us to more naughtiness.
Yes.
Fantasy football with our friends at Factory Fix. Thanks for the Christmas sweaters. Well, the regular season is over, Chad, which leaves us with the playoffs. All right, our championship semifinal. This is the final four, if you will. We've got David Stiefel versus Dean, the Daddy Mac Mackerel, who's been running away with this.
Yes.
He is the favorite at this point.
Takes one bad week, though. Takes one bad week.
Oh, yeah. Any given Sunday, I'll tell you, fantasy will kick your ass. And then it's you and me. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know.
It's not rigged, people. We haven't hacked Yahoo Fantasy. It is totally organic. And then we've got our best of the worst playoffs. We've got Dina Pero, last year's champion. She's still fighting there at the bottom. She's going to go against Laura Martinelli. And then the second matchup, we've got Christy Lisbon versus Keith the Commish Sonderling. He's heartbroken that he didn't quite make the
I
semifinal
smashed his ass last week.
round.
It was horrible. I almost scored 200 points. He was barely, I think, over 100. So it was bad for him.
Yeah, that was rough. And then we got the
you're not going to fall for the banana.
The bottom four, the big losers. We got Action Jackson, who was the Factory Fix representative. He's at number 9. Sean Horton, here's a who. He started from the bottom, didn't quite make it to the top, but he's not the big loser that we thought he might be.
Good job, Sean.
Followed by Jennifer Terry Tharp. And, of course, the man who loves the bottom, if you know what I'm saying.
Our slogan
Adam
is, if it's no Scottish,
Gordon.
it's crap!
He's our favorite bottom.
Who's blaming all of it on the fact that punters don't make it into fantasy lineups, and he couldn't draft the Scottish punter for his team. So anyway,
that's awesome.
There's no next year for you, Adam. Sorry, you have to win it to be back in. You had your shot. It's over.
Get McGrath in next year.
Go back to rugby. Yeah, maybe McGrath will let him in and see if he can do better than.
We'll get Scotland. We'll give Scotland another chance, but not
see
you.
If he can
Adam.
do better than last place, for God's sakes.
It's as bad as Jasper last year. Oh my God.
No shit. Well, let's
naughtiness.
Let's get into some naughtiness.
You naughty.
That's
You're
right.
teasing me. You naughty.
If you're listening for the first time, here's how this is going to work, kids. Chad and I are both going to talk about some of our naughty and nice lists. We have a guest naughty lister, and that's it. That's the show. There's not a ton of news this time of year, so this is a fun way for us to just sort of get off our chest some assholes from the year and highlight some good folks. So
some good folks.
My number one naughty, Ilit Raz. Who the fuck is Ilit Raz?
Again.
Well, this year's naughty for me is kind of a part 2. Listeners will probably remember last year's Jive Turkey show, which included Junko. Well, the dumpster fire continued to rage in 2024. So let's do a little recap for the listeners of Junko. In 2022, Junko was riding the DEI train high on the hog. They raised $25 million for their quote unquote automated sourcing tool for underrepresented candidates. Yeah. They had raised a total of $38.5 million. They had a really who's who list of investors, people from Etsy and high profile names, et cetera. So let's go to 2023 when they made our turkeys list. Raz, the founder, is accused by the board of having, quote, engaged in egregious, unethical, and fraudulent conduct after an investigation found that she had allegedly misled investors regarding the company's actual customer list. She made up a few like Walmart and some high profile names, apparently. That's something you shouldn't do as a founder. Don't tell your investors you have clients that aren't really your clients. Now let's go to 2024,
yes,
where the naughtiness is kind of coming to a head. Yes, there is more. The SEC, yes, that SEC has charged Raz with securities fraud and wire fraud for allegedly defrauding investors and misleading them about core aspects of the company. But wait, Chad, there's more. There's more. The U.S. Attorney's Office is getting into the game. They've announced criminal charges with a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison for Raz. But wait, Chad, there's more. There's even more to this naughty story. Raz is suing the company for $300,000 in not covering her legal expenses. So let's recap.
You naughty. You teasing me.
Ilit Raz is very naughty. She is an Israeli. We think she's in Israel. She's an Israeli citizen.
Yeah.
Chances are she won't be coming to the U.S. anytime soon because there's a lot of people out there that are not falling for the banana.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
And hopefully this is the end for her. Stealing from investors. And by the way, we knew at least one employee that was laid off so it wasn't a lot of people were impacted. She scammed the whole system and she is naughty.
Yeah. It sounds like a orange jumpsuit is coming her way.
Yeah. Do they wear orange in Israel? I don't know. Exactly.
I don't know, but if they extradite her, and I think we do have extradition with Israel.
Yes, Israel does play nice. Play nice. Although she's probably pretty small fish in the big scheme of things. Although the SEC and Justice Department are pretty big deals. All right, well let's get past the naughty and get to some nice for me this year. Shuo Wang makes my nice list. So who the fuck is that? Well, she's the 35-year-old co-founder and chief revenue officer of Deal. That's DEEL, one of our favorite companies. You've probably heard of them if you listen to the show. She's also now number 39 on Forbes' richest women list with an 39. Estimated net worth of $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. For some context, that's the net worth of Madonna, the queen of pop. Oof. Everyone will know who Madonna is. Less than 5 years after its founding, Deal surpassed 500 million in revenue. I think they're up to 700 is the last quote I think you get off there. They've made some incredible acquisitions.
Yes.
After moving to the US from China at the age of 16, she sold scooters at flea markets in high school. And then she went to study robotics at MIT. She co-founded an air purification company before founding Deal. Did I mention she's only 35, by the way? And she also hires, too. We talk a lot about founders who should be hiring all the time. She personally interviewed the first 400 employees at Deal to, quote, help cultivate and maintain a consistent corporate culture.
Yeah.
Youth, she's an immigrant, she's a woman, she's a badass. For all this and more, Wang makes my nice list for 2024. Nice.
Whew. That's a big one. That's a very big one. Well,
that is a big one. Now, awesome. I think Deal may make my predictions list, Chad. That's coming out soon. Deal might make my predictions list. But let's get to your first nice of 2024.
On my list, coincidentally, is another female on that list that you were just talking about. I believe she's probably close to number one. Yes, Taylor Swift is on my nice list. Nobody saw this coming. I get it. I totally get it. One of the reasons why I picked it. But here's some things that I think everybody should know. This from People Magazine. After 149 shows, Taylor Swift touring confirmed to the New York Times that over 10 million people attended the Eras Tour and that it sold over 2 billion in total ticket sales, making it the best-selling tour of all time and double the gross ticket sales of any other concert in history, or should we say herstory. In addition, Swift scored big with an accompanying Taylor Swift The Eras Tour book. Imagine that, which sold over 800,000 copies in the first 2 days, making it the most successful publishing launch of the year. And Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music all announced that Swift was the top streamed artist of 2024 and had the top streamed album of the year. Now, over the past 2 years, Swift gave out $197 million, almost $200 million in bonuses to people working on the tour, including truck drivers, caterers, instrument tech, merch team, lighting, sound, production staff, assistants, carpenters, everybody, the riggers, the hair people, the makeup people, wardrobe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, all this from people. Last but not least, I may not listen to Taylor Swift. However, I can identify an amazing business person when I see one. Plus, according to Apex Marketing, Swift has effectively, this is going to tear me up, man, effectively generated an additional $331.5 million in brand value to the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. A game you and I both know and love. It's close to our hearts. However, it's not only the NFL that's profiting from Taylor Swift, her effects, right? Those brands associated with Swift are now benefiting from her influence as well, which means obviously they're getting amplified and a lot more money. So I don't have to attend a stadium tour, listen to Swift on Spotify, or even be a Chiefs fan, which I'm not. I enjoy watching them, but I'm not really a Chiefs fan. To respect and admire the business savvy and real impact, not just the U.S. GDP, kids, but the surge in economic activity for her tour in the UK has estimated to have injected £1 billion into the UK economy. She is a global fucking whirlwind, which is why Taylor Swift makes it to my nice list this season.
Nice.
Treat your people well. 200 million.
The UK needs a little help these days, for sure. Now, my wife, as you know, I mentioned, went to Toronto to see Taylor, and yes, she takes over a city. I know here in Indianapolis, who hosted a Super Bowl not that long ago, the economic impact that she had on the city was greater than the Super Bowl when it was in town. And you may not listen to Taylor, but if you're on Apple Music, I know you're a Spotify guy, but Apple Music you can follow people in your friends list. So my wife and I are, of course, friends on Apple Music. If I look at my friends playlist, it's all, like, for a while it was all Taylor Swift. I could not avoid Taylor and her many albums.
I have to say, by proxy, I mean, Julie and Kennedy did go see Taylor in Wembley. So, I mean, yes, the knock-on effects, pretty much just about every household, somehow, some way, are being influenced, either spending money or spending time, engagement, because of Taylor Swift. And this, to me, is just, again, I listen to her music, but I don't have to. She kicks ass, man. Oh, my God.
She kicks ass. And speaking of ladies who kick ass, let's take a quick break, and we'll get to some more naughtiness from our friend, JT.
You naughty, naughty. You teasing me, you naughty, naughty.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate.
So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, Chad, we decided
effect.
that hearing from us was just not enough this year. We had to get a little bit of a guest host come in.
Mm-hmm.
So JT, who our listeners know, we'll get to know better in the future, chimed in with a couple of her naughties. She was not able to donate her opinion for the Jive Turkey show. So here is JT's contribution to the naughty list.
I want to put two things on the naughty list this year, starting with the Department of Labor, who miscalculated the amount of jobs available by over 818,000, almost 1 million jobs. And that really messed with the heads of job seekers out there. We've got the worst white-collar job recession I've ever seen in my 20 years as a career coach right now. And so many people couldn't understand. But now when you hear that there's 1 million jobs that weren't really there to begin with, you can see how much that really hurt them. So shame on the Department of Labor. The second one's AI and the misuse of it. On the job seeker side, all these job seekers creating bogus resumes just to get themselves through an ATS system. But also on the recruiting side, in recruiting, we're going to see some incredible AI tools in the future, but that doesn't mean you should use all of them, especially if they mess with the candidate experience. And I think there are some tools out there right now that just aren't cutting it. So please be wary of using AI. Shame on you if you're using it the wrong way.
You're
Boom.
so dumb.
Boom.
You're really dumb. For real.
She is concise. She got 2 in 50 seconds.
Oh, she's not playing games.
It'll take us an hour to do 3 or 4.
She just gave us a lot of homework is what she did. I'm going to go ahead and start out with the BLS stuff, and then we'll go to AI after that. So first and foremost, JT, 2009 was much worse than it is now. Okay. If you want to talk about 20 years ago, 2009 was much worse, especially on the white collar side, than it is right now. So for years we've talked about, and in her defense, we've talked about how the BLS needs to change their bullshit survey methodology, which started in 1915. Yes, 1915. And they need to move toward a more real-time or near real-time data effect, right? So companies like LinkUp or AspenTech Labs provides nearly real-time jobs data as they are constantly monitoring scraping job data directly from corporate sites. The BLS can always adjust their report real-time numbers against the UI, which is the unemployment insurance numbers, to make their adjustments. So hell, even if they kept this stupid survey, injecting real-time jobs data into the fray just makes the data sets better. So yes, the BLS jobs data, which reported 818,000 fewer jobs between April 2023 and March 2024. So within a 12-month time frame, which it's about an average of 68,000 less jobs per month during that year, marking the largest downward revision in the last 15 years. But as reported by senior economist Dean Baker, the revision means we still created a net positive 2.1 million jobs, or 172,000 jobs a month. So let's be clear. The revision makes the job market less strong, but not weak by any stretch of the imagination. And in the end, yes, we need to move past these stupid survey methodologies that are 100 years old, but also keep the big picture of what's really happening with jobs in full view. That's very key. So love what she packaged there, but she made me do a hell of a lot of homework, Joel.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Sounds like you and JT might have a conversation at some point.
Oh, God, we will. Oh, it's going to be great.
About all this stuff.
I love her.
No one has their finger on the pulse of the job seeker and sort of their opinion and what they're feeling quite like JT. And I think that's the tip of the iceberg on the other point that she made with automated two ways, right? Job seekers coming in with AI and employers using AI. I've seen some really bad examples of AI, particularly with video in the interview process. She has way more knowledge than we have on what job seekers are using to like get through pre-screening and get into the ATSs of companies. But yeah, she's spot on in saying if the data is not good, it's hard to make decisions, whether it's up or down. It needs to be correct. And when a company like LinkUp gets acquired, it's no shock to us because the data is better than what we're getting out of the government. So kudos to JT and happy holidays to her as well.
So, I mean, we're in the very early stages of AI adoption and recruitment, and unless it's blatant, it's really hard to call it misuse. And here's what I mean. Currently, we're in the early editing process for the AI sessions season 2 and season 3. And after having those conversations with TA leaders and revisiting or through the production process, listening again, I have to say that I couldn't disagree more with JT about experimenting with AI. Remember the black hole? Everybody seems to forget that over the last 20 years of applying for a job, we had this black hole problem where companies cut recruiting resources or didn't flex when they had hiring to be able to have more people actually scale. Now we're hearing amazing stories from General Motors, Rallies and Checkers, Essentia Healthcare, UPS, who literally just hired 125,000 people in 5 weeks, people. These hiring companies are not shying away from AI. They're doubling down. Why? Because they want the black hole ages to be gone, and they're using more advanced tech to do that. Will they have some bad choices? You're goddamn straight they will. Will those bad choices be better than the black hole? You're goddamn right they will be.
Did you say Chipotle? I think they're on the AI train as well.
Ooh, they are. Yep.
Yes, you and JT will have a few things to talk about.
I love it.
2025 is going to be hot. It's going to be hot on Chad and Cheese. We're just getting started, kids. All right, let's get to your next nice. Or is this your first nice? Second? I've lost track. What's your nice?
No, my first nice was Taylor. Second nice is the influencer economy. The influencer economy. Let's just say over the last few years, we've talked about TikTok. Over the last few months, we've talked about influencers, especially when companies like Appcast and Adzuna are focusing on leveraging social now and in the near future. But we've seen vendors and hiring companies try to leverage social media for over a decade, and they just can't get it right. So what was missing? I think we know now. The JTs of the world, right? The influencers. So this from an article in Men's Health. Quote, you're going to love this, because it's about Chili's. Chili's is currently seeing a spike in sales, even as we're living in a time where many fast food and fast casual restaurants are struggling to lure customers in the door. And the company has an appetizer combo that has gone viral on TikTok to thank for it. How? Well, it seems this might have all started with TikToker Irene Kim, who has 500,000 TikTok followers recorded on TikTok, reviewing Chili's Triple Dipper appetizer. Have you tried that yet?
Just the tip.
You haven't tried that yet? Okay. I'm sure you will, though. Yes. Triple Dipper appetizer. And when she bit into the much larger than average cheese stick, which I can't believe you haven't had yet, the cheese stretched longer than her arm was, right? So the post caught fire with over 1 million views. And since then, the Triple Dipper is a very inexpensive appetizer. So everyone can get out there and play these reindeer games. They're buying the Triple Dipper, and then they're doing their own version of this on TikTok to the tune of, listen to this, kids, over 150 million posts about the Triple Dipper. What's the impact? Let's face it. Chili's has been on the ropes for years now with rising costs and low customer traffic. But the success of the Triple Dipper helped Chili's raise its revenue forecast from $4.55 billion up to $4.75 billion in their forecast. So what's missing from our effects in trying to leverage social media in the past in recruiting? It's influencers. And now we have the influencer economy. Sure, have your CEO say a few words on TikTok now and again. That's great. But if you want real traction, collaborate with influencers to create cool stunts and or promotions that can get your brand, product, services, or even job openings in front of engaged audiences. The cool thing is Irene has 500,000 followers. Somebody like JT, who's in our space, she has 1.2 or 1.4 million followers.
It's a lot, yeah.
So if you're not looking at the influencer economy and you want to use TikTok and you want to use Instagram and you want to use socials, you're doing it wrong, kids. You got to get into the influencer economy.
All right.
All this time, I've been doing it wrong, Chad. I've been putting social shit about Indeed. I should have just been recording my lunches. Just record my lunches, and I become a social media.
You can eat your lunch while you're talking about Indeed. Oh, you can meld. There's melding. There's
hybrid influencing. There you go. I'm all about it. All about it. Well, let me take a pause to grab a snack, and we'll be right back with my final naughty of 2024.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harri comes in. Harri is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harri, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harri's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harri, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harri is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
Are you having fun, Chad? I'm having fun. This is a fun episode.
This is always fun. The naughty and nices, the turkeys, they're always fun. And especially when we can inject a little JT into it, because she's always a blast.
It's also great because we know no one listens to the show during the holidays, so we can just be totally stupid. I know.
Shut up.
all right, let's get.
Naughty. You teasing me?
Let me get to my last naughty of 2024. Okay, my naughty goes to Gerald O'Connor.
You dumbass.
Who the fuck is Gerald O'Connor? Well, he's the CEO of Impact Plastics. What the fuck is Impact Plastics? Well, you might remember we talked about them. The company allegedly kept employees at work while Hurricane Helene flooded the company and took 7 lives to date. The stories are heartbreaking. Google it if you want to ruin your holiday. But there's no question Gerald O'Connor, who should definitely be in a jumpsuit that's the color of orange, next year makes it to the top of my naughty list. I'm going to share a story. This was in Tennessee. This is a local news story about what happened. I think it can kind of encapsulate what happened much better than I could. Have a listen or a look.
In East Tennessee, multiple state agencies are investigating a plastics factory. Company is accused of not letting employees leave with enough time to escape Hurricane Helene's flooding. It turns out the factory was investigated several other times for safety and health violations. Courtney Allen has a story.
Shocker.
Multiple employees of Impact Plastics are still missing, more than a week after Hurricane Helene floodwaters hit the factory.
Was there ever a point where you did not think you were going to survive?
Oh, yes, definitely.
While employee Jacob Ingram survived, at least 2 others did not.
We have no power at work. This is at Impact Plastics. This is a parking lot.
The circumstances that led to those workplace deaths are now at the center of a probe by the Tennessee Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
Well, I just wish the others were here with us, too.
We found Tosha's investigated Impact Plastics several times since the company was founded in 1987. Most recently in 2010, Tosha found 4 serious safety violations regarding working spaces and more. The company's paid thousands of dollars in penalties over the years. Tosha says the inspections date back decades and some standards may have changed.
I'm Gerald O'Connor, founder and president of Impact Plastics.
The law firm now representing O'Connor did not comment on those previous violations and says O'Connor's concentrated on working with official agencies to review what happened on September 27th.
We are heartbroken, as you are, about our loss, and will keep those who have now passed in our hearts forever.
But we will turn him on.
Courtney Allen with that story. The company president's lawyers also said he is seeing to the needs of members of the Impact Plastics family. However, the family of a missing worker said on Monday they still have not heard from O'Connor or anyone else from Impact Plastics.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Yeah. Oh, we're doing so much to help. Man, you're full of shit. Wow.
It took weeks to find some of the people that died. I mean, this was bad. We talked about it when it first happened. There was a father. Many kids were impacted, families, as you can imagine. He was able to text as the waters were coming up. He couldn't escape. He was able to text his daughter.
Yeah.
His last text was "Love y'all." And that was it. Yeah. Like how awful is that? Like CEOs need to get a grip. They've lost the script. Keeping workers at work when there are natural disasters happening. This is a story that's become too common in our show, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
And how'd that fucker make it through? How'd the CEO make it through? If he's there, and again, this is a leadership issue. If you're going to be there and demand that somebody's there, your ass better be there too.
Yeah, he allegedly snuck out. One of the lawsuits had it in there that he.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, he doesn't look incredibly physically fit. So there's no way in hell he swam out of that bitch.
He'd look great in a Speedo, though. I will say that he probably would look great.
You know that he had
in a Speedo. All right. Well, that's pretty naughty, Chad. I don't know if you can
I had to that,
but give it a shot.
I had to focus on an industry naughty and something that I've been railing on for all year, and I'm going to continue to do it. I have a group for my next naughty. That's right. Indeed, ZipRecruiter and Appcast are on my naughty list for not already injecting cost per qualified candidate into the fabric of how companies find and pay for qualified candidates. Yes, cost per click and cost per application were good steps to, move away from duration-based models and focus more on pay for performance. I agree. But let's be frank, CPC and CPA not have any real controls in place to measure quality on the front end. When the seeker hits the apply button, there's no control, right? Are there algorithms that receive signals from the applicant tracking system to better help target future campaigns? Maybe so, but I've already paid for that fucking candidate that's not qualified, right? So after a company has paid for a load of unqualified clicks or application, which means the company has to waste time digging through all of these candidates, which is not better than what we had back in the old monster days with duration based, right? Yep. So cost per qualified candidate should already be a standard in the industry, but why isn't it? I think here's an example. Monster didn't change their model until well after Indeed was on the scene and kicked them off the top of the mountain. Why? Monster was distracted by the massive amounts of cash they were pulling in, and they didn't guard their flanks, unlike Netflix, who understood that mailing DVDs would one day be overtaken by streaming. Yes, Monster did buy Flipdog, but they didn't put enough real energy into it to run parallel businesses. So it's easy to understand that money distracts from threats, and changing a legacy model, it's not an easy task. I understand that. But fast forward to today, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Appcast are happily talking about quality. It's all they talk about, right?
Sure.
But they're also taking the much easier transactional cash instead of screening and delivering quality. So Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Appcast have a choice. Do they build tech that will help identify unqualified candidates from qualified and then charge those companies a premium for qualified? Or wait until somebody else figures it out and buy them? And it feels like the latter is happening. Why is Indeed, Appcast, and ZipRecruiter on my naughty list? Well, leaders are supposed to innovate. So let's hope in 2025, we see the big dogs actually do some innovation in ZipRecruiter. No, I'm not talking about Phil.
You naughty, naughty. You teasing me. You naughty, naughty.
Zip made my honorable mention, which we're not putting in there, but for their stock price, for their COO leaving, their CFO leaving, their innovation is an embarrassment.
Still being there,
and the CEO is still there.
Being there.
Maybe he'll make our prediction show. I don't know.
You don't know how many ZipRecruiter people have reached out to me over the past year as I've started to talk about this and go, yeah, no, you're right. He should have gone a long time ago.
Yeah. 25 is looking to be as equally naughty and as equally nice for a lot of people. But speaking of nice, Chad, my dad jokes are a huge hit, which brings us to this week's dad joke. This one's a little naughty. I got inspired by the show. All right, what do Santa Claus and Bill Cosby have in common? What do Santa Claus and Bill Cosby have in common?
Does it have to do with the Jello pop?
They both only come while you're sleeping.
Oh, that was okay. That was good.
That was pretty good, right?
Bad.
It was a little naughty, but a
little naughty. Being roofied is not a little naughty.
Oh, you had to go there. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for listening. It'll be business as usual as we head into 25. But for now, naughty or nice, we out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper Jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!